to the weekly Baseball Brew Crew Podcast. We're keeping baseball history alive, one craft beer at a time. Wherever you are watching or listening to us, please give us a like and a follow. And if you love beer with your baseball, please tell a friend. Here is the lineup card for today. Hitting first is the field correspondent and senior research analyst at the Baseball Brew Crew. It is Kevin Lyon. Welcome.
Great to be here. I really still do not like the way you emphasize the word senior. Make it sound like I am a senior citizen.
Yes, well, it's all in capitals, by the way. It's not. It's
senior. You gotta yell it. You gotta yell it out loud.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here tonight. Up next is the Goodwill Ambassador and the Sultan of Swig at the Baseball Brew Crew. It is Cowboy Jack Durango, looking good.
Can you drink a beer tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Cowboy Jack Durango. I am Charlie Guzzle. I am the Hop King. I am Jackie Baseball. You are in for a night of greatness. Buckle up.
Let him hear it. Yes.
Wow. Coming in with a high heat. Cowboy Jack. Wow. Awesome. Fantastic. Well, my name is Michael Mondragon, your humble host for the festivities tonight. And hey, we have a great show. So why don't we just get into it and see what craft beer you are drinking tonight? I'm going to start with Kevin Lyon. And as tradition, we always bring a new and unique craft beer. Kevin Lyon, what do you have tonight?
All right. So recently, Michael Mondragon and I went to go see friend of the show, Bob Log III, played at a place called Zebulon in Los Angeles. And we realized that a brewery that we'd never been to called Frogtown Brewery is a quarter of a mile away. So note to yourself, maybe the Zebulon is the best independent music venue in LA. If you ever go there, look up Frogtown, walk over there. And so let me give you a little background on them. So Frogtown, their tap room and brewery opened in 2016 with a focus on creating quality handcrafted beers that were served in a comfortable space built for community connection and interaction. Since opening, they have made a name for themselves in the LA area with its standout classic Kinky Blonde Ale, which we've discovered is now on sale at Dodger Stadium. So cheers to that for Frogtown. And also, they actually had this on draft and I didn't try it. It's called the Painkiller. It's a tiki-inspired IPA made with toasted coconut and pineapple. So I was like, woo, that one looks good, but I didn't go for that. Before I tell you what I'm drinking, let me tell you, you want to know why it's called Frogtown, Cowboy Jack Durango?
Roddy Piper used to sit in a bar stool in there and throw them back. So hell comes to Frogtown. They had to honor our late, great Rowdy Roddy Piper.
That's close enough for rock and roll. So that the neighborhood that is called Elysian Valley, that neighborhood is also known as Frogtown. And and this is an area that's tucked in between the 5 freeway and the Los Angeles River. It's over by like Silver Lakes, not too far from there, Atwater Village. People might not know what I'm talking about. People might know Silver Lake. I know Michael knows it. So the neighborhood's nickname of Frogtown, originally in the 1930s, of course I know this because I was there, when thousands of frogs would come up out of the LA River and cover the streets like a blanket. How about that? So that area became Frogtown. Even though, more recent reports saying that these frogs were kayfabe, were actually small Western toads. But hey, let's not let the truth get in the way of a good story. But forget a good story. We're talking about a great beer. So for fans of the movie Mad Max Fury Road, Cowboy Jack, you a fan of that film?
Big fan of that film. Big fan of that film. And I'm loving seeing America quickly turn into that film.
Well, if I can have Furiosa on my side, if it comes to that, that's the person to have on our side. I saw the name, didn't put two and two together, saw the can, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's that kind of Furiosa. So I'm like, so Michael and I literally at closing time got one of these, and we were just like, oh my gosh, we couldn't believe how great it was, to where we immediately had to get a 4-pack. So This is a cold IPA, by the way. So that means it's just fermented in colder water. And also another fun thing is this is actually made in partnership with the Pink Boots Society. And we talked about them before, but they're an organization who it's the women and non-binary individuals that own companies, package the product, design the labels, serve the drink, write about our industry. And they're teaching each other what we know through our seminar programs. They're doing a lot of education, helping raising money for educational sponsorships for women and non-binary individuals who are looking to get into the beer industry. So, and I think it's also, just anything involving like fermented alcoholic beverages. So like, heck yeah, another good reason to support this. And so this is a heck of a beer. It's a 6%er. So I'll probably drink 2 of these by the time I'm done talking about this.
Nice. And I know that area very well. Is in 97, I moved to Silver Lake from Phoenix, Arizona. So it has a special place in my heart. It's right across the 101 freeway right there. Or is it the 5 freeway?
It's the 5
freeway right there. And the 101 is further down, but it's like right there, right kind of. I would say it's a little bit northwest of Dodger Stadium. It's not
northeast, sir. Just a little northeast. I know what you're talking about, though. Like to get here, I had to get off the stadium way. You would have to get off the stadium way, exit off the 5, and instead of going west to the stadium, you're heading east to the Frogtown area.
Yes, and again, it's not super convenient, so it's a little bit to get to that area from Dodger Stadium. So it's
and I would also recommend if you're going to go to this area, you might want to give yourself a couple minutes because everything around there's street parking, which could be a minor inconvenience, but it's definitely worth it for these beers and just check out some cool places in the area, like we did on recently to see Bob Log at Zebulon.
Yes, absolutely. It's tight parking, and you probably want to get there a little bit early, and it's a little bit tucked back away, from actually like the streets and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. And on the Frogtown part of it, if you've seen the Paul Thomas Anderson movie Magnolia, there's a very famous like frog scene where like a whole bunch of like rain of frogs, and a lot of that movie was filmed in that area. More in the valley, but that area was kind of inspired by the frogs and everything. Yeah. So definitely something to check out as well.
Let me add one more thing I forgot about too. They got some traction too in the beginning of the year because the Rose Bowl had the Texas Christian University team playing in the Rose Bowl, and you know what the nickname is of TCU, right? Michael Mondragon.
Is it the Horned Frogs?
That's correct. So they made like a beer in honor of that for the Horned Frogs, and it was like it actually got sponsorship from the Pac. They're the Big 12.
Pac-12?
I think TCU's in the Big 12. I'm sorry, I was mixing up my conferences.
Okay. Yeah,
but yeah, they actually got it like officially approved. So it was actually like a real legit beer, and it was made in like the purple colors of the TCU Horned Frogs. That's such a cool can that I couldn't get up there to get, unfortunately. It was like a blonde ale that they were doing. If you're in this area, go check them out.
Yes, definitely. One of those small little gems in LA that definitely everybody should check out if you like craft beer. Cowboy Jack Durango, you were up next.
Mother Road Brewing Company is Arizona's 3rd largest independent craft brewer. Founded in 2011 in Flagstaff, Arizona, their mission is to brew distinguished beers and build a community 1 pint at a time. They support Arizona local charities and organizations that help conserve and protect Arizona's 800 unique species of wildlife also. Now, Route 66 is a highway steeped in history, culture, and the endless possibilities of the open road. When it was completed, it gave motorists unparalleled freedom to roam and connected small towns and big cities in a never-before-seen way. Author John Steinbeck gave Route 66 the moniker The Mother Road in his classic novel, The Grapes of Wrath, which inspired the name of this fantastic brewery. The highway was always seen as a road to opportunity for people seeking a better life. Route 66 runs through Flagstaff, Arizona, and still holds a powerful place in their culture, and Mother Road has imbued its adventurousness and innovative spirit into the foundations of everything they build, everything they do, and everything they brew. The Tower Station IPA is a 7.3%, 70 IBU unfiltered India Pale Ale that greets you with copper orange hues and a fluffy white head, releasing aromas of tangerine and pineapple. It's a Pilsner and pale malt balanced hop-derived flavors of grapefruit peel and pine to finish the journey that was crafted by the community. Starting with an extra pale ale recipe, they knew they wanted something even more robust. So what they did is they started tweaking that recipe a little bit, and they'd come out with a new batch every week. They would poll everybody at the downtown Flagstaff brewery, and they would make tweaks based on those polls, which finally resulted in the Tower Station IPA, which is their most beloved and popular beer. So over the weekend, I was invited to a close friend's birthday party at a kind of a popular downtown Scottsdale bar that had a secret room in it. I had to enter through a bookshelf, and with Charlie Guzzle being the refined craft beer sommelier that he is, when I got the invite, I jumped on the old interwebs. I searched up the menu and I saw what craft beer options were going to be available. So I was excited. Get to the place. It's game time. And they were out of every craft beer on the menu.
Oh, no.
So the Hop King at this point had worked up a powerful thirst, and he was worried he would have to quench it with a cleverly named overpriced cocktail when the server remembered that they keep Tower Station on tap. They just don't name it on the menu for whatever reason. If you're going to have a secret room in your bar, might as well have a secret beer. And the beer gods were smiling on me. Mother Road's Tower Station not only quenched my powerful thirst, but it gave this beer-fueled machine enough gas in the tank to be the life of the party. So, Brewniverse, do yourselves a favor. When you're out cruising Route 66, stop in to Mother Road Brewery in Flagstaff, Arizona. Order yourself an ice-cold Tower Station IPA, and don't forget to let them know that the Valley of the Sun's favorite son, Cowboy Jack Durango, sent you.
Love it. Love it.
Heck of a beer.
I will add that I actually had this beer recently as well, believe it or not, Cowboy Jack.
Have you?
When I went to, I found it in a tall can at Chase Field when I was out there for the World Baseball Classic. It was like a little section for those who want to go Chase Field. I think it's field level on the left field side. They have this little market. You'll see it at a lot of ballparks now. It's like self-serve. You get what you're going to get. You scan your ID. You just ring it up on an electronic machine, and you're good to go. And they had this Tower Station. I'm like, I got to try this. I don't know what it is. And it was really, really good. Have you had this,
Tower
Michael?
Station.
I have not.
Yes, you have, Michael Mondragon.
Wait a minute. I have? When did I have
Yes, you
it?
have. I just looked it up. I think I had this on Untapped, and I look under friends, and it said you had it in 2019. How about that? How about I show
Oh my
you
gosh.
right
Where does it say where I had it?
I'm gonna look it up right now because I had it all set up, and I'm like laughing. Going, is he gonna remember this? And then again, I can barely remember where I was this morning. To be fair,
Yeah, for real.
I can tell you where I was in like 1844, but I can't tell you where I was this morning.
2019. It might have been like 1979. I have no idea where I would have been. What?
2019, August 30th, 2019. It says you're a place called Kicks on Route 66 in Williams, Arizona.
Oh,
Yes. Oh,
there you go.
I was just going to say that. I was gonna like put over Flagstaff beer because there's like Grand Canyon Brewing, Mother Road, and there's a few other ones that I'm spacing on right now. But Williams, home of Bearizona, actually in that's a very old city, and there's some breweries there. And we just happened to be this. Okay, so there was a place that was close to where our hotel was, and we just kind of walked over there and had some dinner. And that's exactly where I had it. I would have never remembered that had you not said that.
That's why I do the research on Untapped, and that's why we try to keep track of what we drink when we drink it and where.
Yes. Again, we don't drink till it's a blur, but sometimes what we had was a blur.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, is this Tower Station? Is this a continuation? Does it have different flavors?
I don't think so. I don't think so for sure, because literally when I was looking at Untapped, if you have Untapped, you can see when you had it and it says friends. And so one of the friends, I literally saw like someone I know have it at it in like 2016, 2015. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So this goes back quite a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this goes back to 2011. This is their flagship beer, and it's a treat, man. Normally, I'm looking for more of a hazy IPA or a juicy IPA, but Tower Station hit a home run for me over the weekend, and it'll forever be a little soft spot in my heart. This is a great when I recommend it wholeheartedly, my friends.
Nice. And Kevin and I were just on Route 66 in California, for when we were hopping around on our baseball adventures. So it's like made it all the way up to Flagstaff. Very nice. Thank you so much for that one. So my beer for tonight is a gifted beer from Kevin Lyon. Thank you so much. I super appreciate whenever I'm gifted a beer, because I probably wouldn't have been able to get this one. And this is the Inhale Exhale, not Inhale Exhale with my flow. It's the Inhale Exhale IPA by Brewery X and Tarantula Hill Brewing out of Thousand Oaks, California. Now, I'm going to make a caveat here. When I heard Thousand Oaks, California, I'm like, now I live in LA, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get there. Okay. And because if you know anything about LA, just, I can say right now that is at a minimum hour to an hour and a half drive, and it's going to be horrendous, right? I've definitely changed my tune on this. So this one is 7.1 ABV, no IBU listed. It is a 3-hop blend of Citra, Mosaic, and Equinaut hops. So I wanted to go a little bit more in depth. We're going to get a little bit nerdy about the hops. So Citra is the most sought after hop variety because it offers an intense citrusy flavor and aroma that revolutionized IPAs. Makes sense, right? We see that a lot. Mosaic offers a unique and complex blend of floral, tropical, fruity, and earthy characteristics that translate very favorably into several styles of beer. We see Mosaic all the time. Equinaut is a little bit of a wild card here, and it has an intense and unique fruity and citrus notes, including melon, berry, citrus, lime, apple, and papaya. So 3 really super juicy hops. Okay. So I definitely was looking forward to this. Obviously, the can is tremendous. Brewery X is actually out of Anaheim, and it's actually probably we don't get to it very much, Kevin and I, because it's a little bit out of the way from the places that he's at. There's a lot of brewery selections there. But
it's in the northeast part of Anaheim. Like, like you think like Disneyland, it literally is like 15 to 20 minute drive from Disneyland.
Yeah.
That's how big Anaheim is.
Right. And so we probably wouldn't get there normally if we weren't out there. And then there's other places. I think like the brewery is out there, right?
Breweries out there, Stereo Brewing, Bottle Logic's a big one that's around that area. That area, within like a couple miles, you'll have like 7 or 8 breweries that are.
Yeah, it's very saturated. But Brewery X is one that has a very cool feature, which is it's open till midnight during the weeknights, which is actually a great thing if you're looking for some late night brews. But let me talk about Tarantula Hill because I seem to think, much like paperback brewing in LA, this one is going to become a fast favorite of us all. And we see a Tarantula Hill quite a bit out here in LA. So they actually have the Andre Ethier's Walk-Off Blonde. Okay, so again, I have not seen this anywhere, and I just found out about it recently. I'm like, Okay, a baseball beer, a baseball craft beer. We're in. We love. We affectionately call Andre Ethier carne asada because didn't he have like a
Yeah, he was like cooking some carne. He's wearing his apron. He's doing some cooking out there.
Didn't they give away like aprons at Dodger Stadium?
Yes. Yeah. There was a game I went to where, they were giving away Andre Ethier aprons. I didn't realize that the whole carne asada thing with him at that point. Like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was. I think it was about that time that we started calling him carne asada.
And he was the Dodgers for several years, and he was definitely a favorite at the team there.
Yes, definitely a favorite. He looks like our friend Scott Lost. So we love him very much.
Not as handsome as Scott Lost, though. Sorry.
No. And then, so then I found out about the Frontier Society from Tarantula Hill. And as you see here, it's a double play, double IPA. Okay. So the Frontier Society is an annual limited members only program that gives you exclusively brewed beer releases. And this is the year 3. So this year's Frontier Society will carry the theme of our favorite SoCal sports teams. So they had like different like Lakers beers and stuff like that, and Dodgers and stuff like that. But okay, so we're super big, not only craft beer and baseball nerds, but we are also pop culture nerds. And look at these releases that they had.
Oh my God.
Okay. The Joust Double IPA. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Okay. And then, I mean, as if that wasn't enough, they have a Gallagher.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Double IPA.
Yeah.
I mean, what is not to love about this? And much like Paperback, like we love all their kind of they had the chainsaw, the blue bunny with a chainsaw for the Dodgers and stuff like that. So they really leaned into really fun names and brews and stuff like that, and stuff that you wanted to go and like, oh man, I have to have that. Like Road Rage on the 405 is a Paperback beer, so I gotta have that. I've had that many times.
You mean you've had the drink, or you've had Road Rage on the 405?
I've had the beer and Road Rage on the 405.
Did you have both at the same time though? Hopefully not.
No, because here at the Baseball Brew Crew, we don't drink and drive. We stop and chug.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. There's a very funny Tig Notaro joke about she was stuck on the 405 one time, just sitting there in traffic, and a bee flew past her, and she said, "Oh my gosh, why is a bee taking the 405?" Very funny joke. Anyway, definitely Tarantula Hill. Kevin, we may have to make and break our rules and get out here.
Hey, I looked. If I left Anaheim, California right now, it's 67 miles to Tarantula Hill from where I live.
Okay.
Apparently, right now, it'll take an hour and 8 minutes to get there.
Wow. Yeah, and that's on a good day, and that's with no traffic. You have to go through.
This is like 7 p.m. on a 7 p.m. on a weeknight, trying to get out there.
Yeah, unless there's baseball, you're not going to get out there. What's that, Jack?
But you know what? But that's not bad. 67 miles in 68 minutes.
That's actually pretty good.
That's actually full speed almost.
Yeah, that's actually pretty efficient.
Unless you're having road rage on the 405, which luckily that doesn't have me taking the 405, so that's good.
And yes, we say the 405. It's a California thing.
Oh,
we get we'll take all the heat we can for it.
We have a million freeways here. Not people in those states where they have the interstate.
Right. The 5 to the 101 to the 405 to the 61. Yes. Give us all the heat you can.
Okay. Don't get me started on that.
All right. So those are our craft beers for tonight. All right, so let's get to it. This is this week in baseball history for June 6th through 12th. We're going to go through it day by day. June 6th, 1978, the Braves select Bob Horner as their first overall pick in the June draft and promptly promote him to the Major League Club. So straight from the draft, straight into the major leagues. The Arizona State corner infielder was the first recipient of the Golden Spikes Award, an honor given annually by the USA Baseball to the best amateur baseball player. Horner on the corner. And yes, he actually had a great major league career, a little bit stalled at the end when he had some contract stuff. We actually talked about this in a previous podcast about him, that he actually had a weight clause in his contract and had to stay at a certain weight, or else he was fined. So this actually starts off our first of 3 draft picks by the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Nice.
So, Kevin, I'm going to hand it to you.
All right, let's go to June 7th, 1966. The A's select future Hall of Famer and friend of the show, not yet, the future man known as Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, in the first round of the amateur draft as the second pick. Not the first pick, second. The Mets, with their first overall pick, choose Steve Chilcott, a high school catcher who will never play a day in the major leagues. How about that?
Yeah.
So that Steve Chilcott is like the Sam Bowie of baseball,
Yes.
I would say. Yeah.
Yes, I was going to ask you if there was another comparable person, and Sam Bowie's a perfect. Although, did Sam Bowie at least played?
Yes, he at least had a career, but it was Sam Bowie or Michael Jordan.
And Reggie obviously had a storied career, and it's funny because if you look, and I want you to look this up, Kevin, really quickly. Yes. Oh. He was not drafted by the Oakland A's. He was actually drafted by the Kansas City Athletics.
I almost said Oakland, but I think, you know what? It's really close. It might have been 66 because I'm trying to remember if it was there 66 or 67 when Oka opened. So let me hashtag do the research. In the meantime, I can always talk about the fact that Reggie's actually pretty relevant right now, because for those who haven't seen it yet, if you go to Amazon Prime, you can see the new documentary called Reggie. And also something we talk about pop culture, the Reggie bar, the candy bar that came out about in honor of him when he was a Yankee, is back out there. So you can look that up and you can maybe eventually get some Reggie bars.
Yes. Well, foreshadowing on that one, we're actually going to be doing something around the Reggie bar coming up. So definitely stay tuned for that. We will definitely let everybody know. And then who knows, one, if not many of you could get a Reggie bar from the Baseball Brew Crew. Yes, I said it. I'm putting it out there.
All right. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be. Just look up one simple fact here. You know what? They based in Oakland since 1968. So there you go.
There you go. So he's drafted by the Kansas City Athletics.
Yes.
Right on.
Well, I mean, right. great decision by the Mets there. Well done. Well done.
You could have had the straw that stirs the drink.
Exactly. Right.
He could have been out there. Could have been out there. Yeah, could have been out there dropping bombs on him. Otherwise, they got Steve Chilcott. So yeah, good job, Mets.
Yes. Well, in fairness, the amazing Mets won in '69, so I guess they knew a little bit of what they were doing. But yes, they.
But you know what? The Oakland A's won 3 straight World Series from 72, 74. So there you go.
So the A's win in that scenario for sure.
June 8th, 1965, in the first major league free agent draft of students and Sandlot players, the A's select Rick Monday, making Arizona State star the first player ever drafted. Kansas City will also select his Sun Devil teammate Sal Bando in the 6th round. So we've got ASU coming out strong in 65. Strong in 65. When did superstar Billy Graham graduate ASU?
Hey, and 66 is Reggie. Come on,
Yeah.
Think about that. Those guys were all on the same team potentially. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And talking about
ASU,
they're all on there, right?
Yeah, the A's picked all 3 of them. So whoever the A's scout was who picked these guys, great job.
He didn't have to go too far. He went to Tempe, Arizona to see all these guys play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, ASU cranking out some talent over the years.
Yeah, I don't remember if Rick was on the A's for those 70 of those championship teams, but Sal Bando definitely was. And give a rest in power to Sal Bando. He passed away earlier this year. We did a good chat about him, talking about his life and his career. So cheers to him, and cheers to just that amazing Oakland A's teams. They literally just did the 50th anniversary for the 73 team with Reggie and some of the other players there.
Right. Yeah, that was.
And while we're throwing out cheers to ASU for just being a machine for cranking out ball players back in the day.
That's
well
right.
done, ASU.
Just for a few of you that are probably new to the podcast, we put over Arizona State University only because Cowboy Jack Durango, that was his locale. I'm actually originally from the Phoenix Tempe area, so it's a sweet spot in my heart. I used to go to Packard Stadium to see baseball there, and right across, actually, very interestingly, where Packard Stadium was on the Arizona State University campus, right past that is a golf course that has. And there's a name for it that I'm forgetting right now. It's actually a course with it's just grass. There's no trees, there's no water, there's nothing. It's just literally all grass, and that's where Phil Mickelson used to play. He used to play college, yes, at Arizona State University.
And I will say, even I'm an Arizona State University fan. They're my favorite team in the Pac-10, partially because Reggie Jackson was, one of my favorite players growing up, and he was with them. And I was sorry to say this, Dallas Cowboys fan as a kid. Danny White, their former quarterback, also played at ASU. So
yeah, Jake Plummer.
We all have our love for it.
Oh, Barry Bonds.
Sorry.
You didn't say that out loud, did you?
I just
all right.
It's Papago Golf Course.
Papago. Yes.
There you go.
There you go. And then there's a certain name for that type of course. And I want to say that he even had a hand in designing it, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that one.
It was originally built in 1963.
Oh, wow. So it's been there for quite a long time.
It's part of the facilities at on the campus. So I'm assuming that's the place. So I was like, right on.
There you go. There you go. All right. June 9th, 1946. Ted Williams hit the farthest home run ever hit at Fenway Park, a shot estimated to have traveled 502 feet before striking the straw hat, seat 21, in the 37th row of section 42 in right field. The Red Sox will paint the seat red to commemorate the location of the Splendid Splinters Ruthian blast, although the area considered part of the bleachers, not individual seats at the time of the homer. So when I've taken the Fenway tour like 2 or 3 times, and it's great every single time. But this is one that I always heard about. They talk about this. It went through this guy's straw hat. I mean, it sounds grandiose and it sounds like a lot of hyperbole, but whether it happened or not is all, whatever. But I when you see how far this is, and you can see it in this picture, obviously, how far it is, because my very first game at Fenway Park is right next to that right field line, which is called the Pesky Pole. I think his name is Johnny Pesky. He used to, he was a left-hander. He just wrap it around that pole right there. And it's very interesting as you see how it almost goes parallel to it, like the wall and back there. It's really interesting dimensions. That's the great thing about baseball, right? Is just how these dimensions, but to see how far this is from there. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. In fact, the seat that I had right at that pole, it faces like center field. So I actually had to sit on my seat sideways to see home plate.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Jack, as a construction man, I'm sure you're horrified by all these.
Well, this was built over 100 years ago. I mean, to be fair, the original structure of it.
So I'm sitting here thinking, what is it, 77 years? Nobody's ever been able to out hit Teddy Ballgame in the Big Green Monster. We're talking. Yeah. We went through the steroid era of baseball, and nobody has been able to match.
Wait! It's done. Everyone's clean now? Is that what you're telling me? Everyone's clean.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Hey, a lot of vitamins, a lot of saying their prayers.
Teddy was finding his. Teddy was too. He was getting his vitamins and his prayers and all that.
That's true.
I don't know if he's getting any extra, but you never know.
They didn't have any anabolic steroids in the 40s, bro. Maybe a little, but that was back when cocaine was in Coca-Cola. So
yeah. Greenies, brother. Greenies. That's like the 60s of the greenies.
No left-handers like Ted Williams for sure. And I mean that is an awesome shot.
That's a heck of a feat.
I love the way that this picture definitely defines that. So Kevin, you're up.
All right, we're going back to June 10th, 1944. 6 weeks shy of his 16th birthday. Do you hear what I just said? 16th. Joe Nuxhall becomes the youngest player in a major league contest in this century, beginning a 60-year tenure with the Reds organization that includes becoming best known as the voice for the team's radio broadcasts. After being called the ninth inning into a 13-0 rout by the eventual world champion Cardinals at Crosley Field, the 15-year-old high school southpaw retires George Fallon, the first batter he faces, but is unable to get out of the inning, yielding 5 walks, 2 hits, 1 wild pitch, and 5 runs. Oh, jeez. Whew. That's rough.
Yeah.
That is a rough going, but look at this kid. Look how young he is here. Oh my goodness gracious. And I will say this is definitely a product of World War II. There's no way you're going to have a 15-year-old kid playing Major League Baseball nowadays, right?
That's a good point.
Well, hold on a second. Let me just steer you a little. Let me just steer you a little sideways here.
It's your curveball.
Yeah, there you go. Better than Joe Nuxhall on that first day, apparently. So, in recent years, there's been international prospects who've been getting signed under the age of 18. The most famous would be Julio Urias on the Dodgers, who got signed at 16 years old, and now he's doing fantastic for the Dodgers. And on May 30th, there was a kid the Padres signed named Ethan Salas from Venezuela, who just got added to the Padres single A team, the Lake Elsinore Storm, which you and I have been to before. And he's turning 17 on June 2nd. So think about that.
Wow.
So there you go. And he's the first, ready to feel old? The first 2006 born player to play in the minors.
Wow.
Where were you in 2006, Cowboy Jack Durango?
2006. I think I was in jail in South Korea in 2006, brother.
Whoops.
Right.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. No, it's heck of a story, man. We'll have to save it for an after-hours show one day. It involves professional wrestling, copious amounts of soju, the red light district, and entire brigade of Korean police officers fighting Charlie Guzzle. That's a good one. A good one.
Wow. Kevin, who were the world champions of 2006 in baseball?
Oh, God. I'm like 1946. I know it was the Cardinals. Darn it. I wish you would have.
You would have been right in 2006.
I know. I was going to say it was the Cardinals, right? In 2006. Jeez.
Yes. They're one of the worst teams in baseball. They won the world championship.
Wow.
Yes.
The Arizona Cardinals, dude. The Arizona Cardinals.
Well, Arizona Cardinals don't win anything.
Arizona does it again. Arizona does it again.
I guess there's always a first for something. They've had what? World Championship? Baseball?
Well, that's their biggest one, but you know who outclasses everybody in Arizona? The Phoenix Mercury.
Oh, sorry.
And the Arizona Rattlers.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. Was the coached by Danny White. I'm going to go back earlier. Arizona State alumni here.
All comes around. Definitely.
Good old arena football. And what's Phoenix Mercury? Is that the WNBA?
Yes. Shout out to Hunky Hooper.
Okay.
Sure.
I know who that is. Sure.
All right.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Yes.
Do you know
All
who
right.
that is in the photo of John Nuxall? Because I have no idea.
I do not either, and I should have done my research. We'll definitely do
Let's
the
just
research.
say it's Sparky Anderson.
Oh, yes.
I think it's Sparky Anderson who was 7.
It's a very, very angry librarian.
That too. Maybe it's a truant officer in disguise trying to get Joe Nuxall in
Very
school.
well could be.
You know, being a
Sure.
15-year-old.
All right, Jack, you're up.
June 11th, 1990, at the ripe old age of 43, Texas Rangers superstar Nolan Ryan no-hits the A's 5-0, becoming the oldest player to throw a no-hitter, extending his major league record to 6. The Ryan Express becomes the first player to throw one in 3 different decades and to accomplish the feat for 3 different teams. Now, I have some feelings on Mr. Nolan Ryan, but we can, as they say, give the devil his due. The man could throw a ball, and he threw the ball for a very long time. He might have a bunch of accolades, but he also has some pretty bad stats just because he played for 42 years. Not a lot of great things to say about Nolan Ryan. I would love to take Robin Ventura's spot and throw hands, as the kids say, with a Nolan Ryan in his prime. I can't do it now. He's an old man, but yeah, you know what? If he's open for it, if he's listening, I'll tell you what, Nolan Ryan, left hand tied behind my back. You're what, 88 years old? Let's throw down. Cowboy Jack versus the Ryan Express. Sell tickets.
Let's do it at this new place in Katy, Texas. What's it?
Yes.
I can't remember the name. It's the Top Golf version of baseball, and I cannot remember the name of the place off the top of my head right now. I was like, shoot. So I did the research, right?
And I'm surprised here because Cowboy Jack is not like immediately loving a Texas legend.
No, see, I don't like false bravado, and I feel that was part of Nolan Ryan's shtick. He's what we would like to call in the cowboy world all hat and no cattle. We as cowboys, like, we don't tolerate rude behavior in a man. And Nolan Ryan, the way he played the game, he played it like a bully. He bullied a lot of young kids, and I can appreciate people being competitive, but what I can't condone is somebody trying to intentionally hurt another player in a game. And Mr. Ryan did that over and over again. I don't tolerate rude behavior.
And I will add too, if you have Netflix, and if you haven't, you can look up Facing Nolan. This is a documentary where more or less Jack and I came to that conclusion. We're going, this guy's kind of a dick, but nicely, you know what I mean? I'm like, gosh, I could say so much worse, but I'm going, and it's funny because I look at the end going, this is such a puff piece. And I look, it's like every credit's like, oh, a Ryan versus like executive producer, director, or whatever. It's like him, his son. I'm like, gosh, it's such a puff piece. But I'm going, it just seems like he's just not, I mean, he's very competitive, but to where I think it's a detriment. And hey, let's put it out there. Cowboy Jack Durango versus Nolan Ryan at Home Run Dugout in Katy, Texas. Let's sell some tickets.
I like that. It's like the shootout at the OK Corral. It's
yeah. Ready for that.
So this is a fun one as always. One of our greatest stories that we like to tell. June 12th, 1970, Doc Ellis throws a 2-0 no-hitter against the Padres in San Diego during the first game of a twin bill. The former Pirates right-hander who became an advocate of anti-drug programs claims he was under the influence of LSD while tossing one of the most memorable games in his career. So this is an absolutely mind-blowing, mind-expanding story.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes, and Kevin has this shirt. I love this shirt so much. Doc Ellis was cut from another cloth. He definitely broke a lot of kind of baseball I wouldn't say rules, unwritten rules. He definitely had a swagger about him that was not accepted by the baseball norm. Actually, it would not be accepted today either. I mean, like guys like Fernando Tatis, in recent history, or anybody just having. I remember Arozarena, coming around and just taking the bases a little bit differently, and it's there's a lot of people that don't like this type of just brand, like just being bold out there and just being really individual out there.
Yeah, like in this photo, he's wearing the curlers. He got major heat. I think he got fined because of it.
Yes. The commissioner actually asked him not to do this, and it was definitely, it was unaccepted at the time. And he's like, "Hey, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I do." Yep. And I, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, there's a documentary that we all love about this.
It's called No, and it was on Tubi for free for a while, but I don't see it on there anymore. I see if you want to rent it or buy on Amazon. On Amazon, you can. I think it's like $4 to rent it, or like $13 to buy it. Or if you go to YouTube, there's a very famous video on YouTube. You just look up Doc Ellis, no, and you'll find it. It's him telling the story and an artist making like a cartoon version of everything that happened. And it's wonderful.
Yeah,
it is wonderful.
It's great. And I believe I bought it off iTunes because I was like, I want this. This is so good. It's such a great story. And if I'm not mistaken, because the game was in San Diego, he actually was like sleeping like during the day, and his girlfriend called him. And then he drove.
You got pitched today, and he's like, "No, man, it's tomorrow." And apparently, he had the wrong day. He's like, "No, it's today." It's like,
it's such a great story, and the fact that like he didn't know that he was pitching a no hitter, so it's like it.
He was in the zone, and like here at the Baseball Brew Crew, we don't advocate for the use of mind-altering hallucinogens, but Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter on LSD. Imagine what you could do if you open your mind and zone in. I'm just saying. Devil's advocate here, guys.
All right. And
he had a great run. But he had a really good career too. He was a heck of a pitcher for a good several years there. And he's on a great team of the Pirates as well.
Yep. That's peak athletic performance to be able to be on LSD and throw a no-hitter. And I mean, that's muscle memory.
Allegedly.
That's training. That is a master of his craft.
Yes. And he was in those great Pirate teams of the early 70s. So definitely a icon for the Baseball Brew Crew. Obviously it's one of the great stories that we love telling. It's just so fun. And but Doc Ellis, later in life definitely made amends for this, and definitely taught people, hey, this probably wasn't the way to go, but this is probably what he's best known for in baseball for sure. All right, so let's do some baseball trivia. We're going to test your knowledge of baseball. And guys, this is episode 161. So we're going to use 161 as our number that we're going to work with on this week. So we have 2 questions, and here is question number 1. This Hall of Fame player has 161 career triples, ranking him 38th all time. Here are your choices. Is it Sam Thompson? Is it Heine Manouche? Is it Harry Hooper? Is it Lou Gehrig? Yes. Is it Elmer Flick? Or is it Pie Traynor?
Wow. These are definitely players of a different era, to say the least. I thought Chiggs did the long ball, but nope. Back in the these are like players from like the 1800s to like the 1940s at the latest. Chiggs dug the triple, the most exciting play in baseball, they say.
Which tells you, and I've always heard it said that it is the most exciting play in baseball, the triple. Yep. That it's very rare. So it's not a base hit that you get a lot. And like, how many triples do you see in a game? Like, maybe one,
if you're lucky.
Yeah,
definitely less than home runs for sure.
Definitely. So we're looking for this Hall of Fame player has 161 career triples, ranking him 38th all time.
All right, Jack, what are you thinking? I think Jack Rose.
Of course, right? Perfectly on time.
All right, well, hopefully Cowboy Jack is back in a minute. In the meantime, there he is. He's back. All right. You want me to go first? I'll just let me just go. All right. Well, Cowboy Jack, if I know Cowboy Jack, that I know he likes a good Heine. So in his life. So I think he's gonna go with Heine Manouche. Am I right, Jack? Give me a thumbs up if I'm right. All right. See, I know Cowboy Jack. I know what he's thinking here. Are you okay with Heine Manouche?
I was going to pick Don't Touch My Heine Manouche.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I can read your mind,
Okay.
Or I can read. All right. So I would ask this to Cowboy Jack Durango, but I don't know if he's going to say yes to this. But Michael Mondragon, do you like pie?
I love pie. I like it better than cake.
Yeah, there you go. Well, let's go for some pie trainer then. I'll go number 6, pie trainer.
Okay. All right. So your choices again are Sam Thompson, Heine Manouche, Harry Hooper, Lou Gehrig, or Elmer Flick, or pie trainer. And the answer is, it is Sam Thompson. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see a very, very old picture of Sam Thompson. His major league statistics, he's a .331 career average, 126 home runs, 1,308 RBIs, and 161 triples. He was the NL batting champion in 1887, two-time National League home run leader in 89. That's 1889 and 1895. He was a 3-time National League RBI leader in 87, 94, and 95. That's 1895.
I know. I don't know why I didn't know this answer. I should have known immediately.
Yes, and he's the Philadelphia Phillies Wall of Fame. So if you ever see Sam Thompson, you'll say that you heard it here on the Baseball Brew Crew. And it just look at his plaque for the Hall of Fame. I mean, with that trademark mustache, that is of the time.
That's a well mustachioed gentleman.
And in that photo, he's wearing a Detroit shirt. So our Detroit jerseys. I don't know if they were even the Tigers back then. I think
that they were. If I saw correctly, they were the Detroit Tigers back then.
That's what I was trying to figure out. If they were even the Phillies back. Yeah, and the Phillies were established in 1883. How about that?
Wow, that is incredible.
That's crazy. And I would guess they're the Detroit Tigers, but I love it.
Well, if you love old timey baseball, you found your calling with the Baseball Brew Crew. We love talking about it. All right, so here is question number 2. This player hit 161 home runs for the San Diego Padres, ranking him number 2 all time for the team. Who is he? Here are your choices. Is it Nate Colbert? Is it Phil Nevin? Is it Dave Winfield, Mr. Padre Tony Gwynn, Adrian Gonzalez, or Ken Caminiti?
Well, I will say myself, I know who has the all-time record, so I know who it isn't.
I know who it's not.
I definitely know 2 people who it's not. There's one guy I'm like, there's no way this guy 161 as a Padre. And then we have Angels manager Phil Nevin on there. There you go, on that list.
Oh, that's right.
A guy who is practically a friend of the show at this point, Dave Winfield. We talked about him an awful lot.
We do talk about D. Winnie a lot.
Oh yeah, we do. Absolutely. All right, what are you leaning toward, Cowboy Jack? Who are you thinking here?
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. I'm just gonna pick one when it comes up. I know who it's not.
Who isn't it?
It's not Dave Winfield.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Why
What's
do
that
you,
number? 161. Okay.
Because in all the extensive research I've done on D Winnie, if he was number 2 for the Padres, I would have come across that.
okay.
Okay. All right.
So process of elimination. It's not Dave Winfield, but I'll tell you who it is. It's number 6, Ken Calamari.
All right. Okay, fair. The all-time leader is number 1, Nate Colbert. I know that for sure.
Okay.
I don't believe it's Tony Gwynn. And just to make something different, let me go with Adrian Gonzalez.
Well, okay.
I'll go with Aegon.
Nicely done.
I don't know if it is, but I'm just like, hey, let's go for someone different. Because
Okay.
I would pick Phil Nevin, but he's the Angels manager, and I get a little with him. But I should support him because he was, I believe, an Olympian, and he went to my alma mater, Cal State Fullerton. So
See, you have so many.
I have so many reasons to pick Phil Nevin, which is why I'm not going to pick Phil Nevin. And watch, the answer's going to be Phil Nevin, but I'm going to say Adrian Gonzalez.
You turned your back on your. Where's the loyalty, Kevin? Where's the loyalty?
I turn my back right now. Here you go. For those watching on video,
You're going to get Kevin's backstory right there.
oh, no.
Well done.
This player ranks number 2 Padres all time for home runs with 161, and the answer is yes, it is Adrian Gonzalez. Aegon. Kevin gets it. 287 average, 317 all-time home runs, 161 for the Padres. Yes, he was actually started as a Marlin. He actually went to the Dodgers. He went to actually the Red Sox for a year or two. And 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove Award winner, 2-time Silver Slugger, and RBI leader in 2014. Yes, definitely a really great player, and one of those kind of players that growing up in Southern California, you heard a lot about because he was with the Padres and the Dodgers. So. Just a great,
these are some great numbers. It's funny you saw earlier, Sam, you see his stats and you see this guy going, this guy's way better stats. Why isn't he not a Hall of Famer? But then again, home runs were so infrequent back in the 1800s. I would know. I maybe caught one home run ball in my life.
Yeah. And I was just going to say the same thing as like, the fact that he was 100 behind him, and then that guy was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That tells you how like everything was elevated, during the live ball era. All right, so that is the show we have for you this week. Definitely like and subscribe everything we do. We're at Beer Baseball on Twitter. We're at the Baseball Brew Crew on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Baseball Brew Crew. Beer Baseball everywhere else, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Guys, any last words before we sign off for this week?
Follow me on Instagram at Confirmed Desperado. If you've watched the show, if you've listened to the show, I just have to say, from myself, Charlie Guzzle, the Hop King, Jackie Ballgame, Cowboy Jack Durango, you're welcome.
I almost want to read more nicknames for Cowboy Jack, but I will not do that tonight. I'm going to say you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at LockNLoll, LOKNLOLL, to see whatever I'm getting into, because I'm going to be a very busy man coming up in June. I'm going to be going to Toronto and Vancouver for baseball, wrestling, and beer, and whatever else I can get into.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back here. We've kind of changed our format a little bit. We're starting to record our episodes. We're going to start putting out the audio on certain like podcast formats as well. But we're going to try to put out some more content. We're going to split this all up and just get it all out there so you can see it and consume it. And yes, it's a labor of love, and we're here for the long haul. Craft beer and baseball. Nobody can do it like the Baseball Brew Crew. For Cowboy Jack Durango, Kevin Lyon, I'm Michael Mondragon. We'll see you next time.